very warm welcome to our final match in Macau, and what a match we've got for you as host China take on Serbia in a rematch from the Rio Olympic final, which for the record China took by 3-1. Well, plenty to look forward to for an absolutely packed venue here in Macau. It's been superb atmosphere all the way today. Thailand beating Poland in a 5-set thriller, and this one certainly has the ingredients to go all the way again. But Serbia at full strength, and if all of their players come to the party, then it's going to be tough for China, playing a little bit below strength, and also some experimentation from coach Lang Ping. China's legendary former player turned coach has been forced to experiment here in Macau with the absence of two star players, Yuan Xingyue and Zhu Ting. And it's brought mixed results, a 5-set loss against Poland, followed by a 3-1 win against Thailand. But today, versus this full-strength Serbian side, it's going to be a very different prospect indeed. And word on the street is that Lang Ping is going to experiment further and bring in other different players from the bench. So it looks likely that we're going to start with a third different lineup for this Chinese team, which will be an interesting demand. Duan in the number 20 shirt came into the fray on day 2 and has played well alongside Hugh, but whether they'll maintain places on court today, we will see. Serbia arrived today knowing that they are yet to hit top gear here in Macau, but if their two big stars both play well today, Mihailovic and Boskovic, they may prove too much for China to handle, as Serbia, currently inside the Nations League finals qualification zone, look to make it 3 wins from 3 here in China to consolidate their position after victories against Poland and Thailand. Well, number 19, Milenkovic, has been brought on to court ahead of Blagojevic on day 2. And on day 3, highly likely that she'll get another start. But in terms of who Serbia need to perform today, then it really does need to be Mihailovic and Boskovic in those wing positions. Serbia then inside that qualification zone. Another win today puts them right up there with the likes of USA and Brazil. And that means that a chance to qualify in the top 5 to join the hosts China in Ningbo at the end of this Volleyball Nations League is very much on the cards for them. But a lot of big teams, a lot of big name teams at the moment struggling to make these finals, because this has been a really, really tough tournament for everybody concerned, and there isn't a team out there at the moment that hasn't lost a game. So the toss earlier today, Liu in the number 10 shirt, the captain for China, alongside Milena Razic, the captain for Serbia. Razic not always guaranteed a start these days, but decides they're going to serve, China receiving, but they don't get the choice to receive because they didn't win the toss, so they just say which end they're going to be. And Serbia and China captains will sign the score sheet, and then we'll be ready to move this towards the start of the game, and a game that really could be fantastic to watch. In terms of the head-to-head, well, in recent contests, Serbia have just had the edge, but in terms of the Olympic Games, that's when it really mattered, and China came up with that victory for the gold medal. So a little bit of revenge on the cards for Serbia today, but you can't take the kit bag out and take the gold medal away from these Chinese players. But they are 2 below their full strength, this Chinese team, and that could prove to be an issue. But some great new talent coming through into the Chinese lineup, the likes of Li Yingying, just 18 years of age, and Liu, the captain, very much an established player. She had to step up to the plate yesterday and needs to do it again today. Going to be a vital hitting option today for this Chinese team to keep the scoreboard ticking over. But for me, it's been the first pass that has been a little fragile. The service reception for this team just hasn't quite been up to it, and Li Yingying will be in that service reception, and just looked a little exposed at times in their first game, China, when they lost to Poland. Li Yingying given a rest yesterday against Thailand, but very much part of this squad to face Serbia. Now, whether she gets a start on court is, of course, another story. That'll be down to Chinese coach Lang Ping. But she wants to give the 18-year-old as much exposure as she can, and the FIVB Volleyball Nations League is certainly the place to do it. Major contest against world-class players. And here's one of them, Mihailovic. Just getting a last bit of treatment to the left knee. Has been below par here in Macau, just hasn't had her timing right. And has not been the normal force. She's still been in amongst the top scorers, but not quite been the normal force that she is for this Serbian team. But she's got a lot of talented players around her. Stefanovic in the number 15 shirt amongst them. Leading blocker for Serbia at the moment, and came in with great impact yesterday in their 3-1 victory against Poland. Really impressed with what she did from the bench. Very aggressive player, great block, forms it really well, stays disciplined, and hits the ball very, very hard indeed. So it looks like Stefanovic will get a start today. She'll be alongside Milena Razic, her captain. Those will be the two middle blockers for Serbia. And for China, Duan will be hoping to get on court again. She and Hu coming from the bench halfway through day one and maintaining their place on day two. Bjelica, the other opposite option if Tijana Boskovic doesn't start, the experienced number 13. All sorts of options available to both coaches today, but Serbia, have to say on paper, coming into this one as marginal favourites. So we're just about ready to get things underway. The teams will be introduced after the anthems.
Would you please rise for the playing of our team's national anthems? First, the national anthems of Serbia. 請起立，以在奏塞爾維亞國歌。The national anthem of China, 現在奏中國國歌。
Two very talented squads get to restage that 2016 Rio Olympic final right now. Serbia in the blue, China in their yellow and red kit, in front of the home crowd here in Macau. Officials, first of all, to be introduced to the crowd, and then we're going to see what plans the coaches have in terms of their starting six for this match.
The first referee from Russia is Mr. Vladimir Olenik.
So from Russia, Vladimir Olenik, first official. Up on the stand, and the referee that actually runs the match, but ably assisted from the floor by the second official. So after all the rotations, communication with the coaches and scoring table. And Sumi Yoji is the second official for today's game, and it should be a cracker. Been looking forward to this one all week, as have the crowd, and they really have turned out in force today to watch this. But watchful eyes on the Chinese bench to see who Lang Ping is going to start with today, because she may just decide to experiment even further. For Serbia, it's a relatively balanced lineup. They do have options from the bench. Coach Zoran Terzic, though, normally starts his playmaker Ana Antonijevic in the number 7 shirt, the setter. And she will be joined by Brankica Mihailovic, wing attacker who, on her game, on her day, will beat anyone in the world. Mihailovic, a superstar, but here in Macau, for whatever reason, timing has been off. Stefanovic does get a start through the middle. She's been superb in the centre of the net, and alongside her very experienced captain, Milena Razic. That is a world-class middle blocking unit. And Tijana Boskovic gets a massive cheer from this crowd. The big left-hand opposite spiker is back on court for Serbia, and well done to Milenkovic. Bojana Milenkovic, the wing spiker, just 21 years of age, takes her place on court as the little libero, Popovic, has to try and jump away along those high fives. The libero in the different coloured shirt, the defensive and passing specialist, Popovic, quality player, and we'll be hoping to preside over a really good performance today, as will coach Zoran Terzic, who's been through the mill a bit over the last couple of days. 2 victories for his team, but in not particularly satisfactory circumstances, not great performances. They're going to have to play well today, though, against this team. And there is a surprise from Lang Ping. So Yang Han-yu, 18-year-old middle blocker, gets a start in the number 4 shirt. There's no place on court for Yang Fangxiu. It's going to be Gong Jiangyu that starts in the opposite position in the number 7 shirt. In the number 6 shirt. Number 7 is Wang Yuan, middle blocker. Another surprise. It's a completely new middle blocking unit for China. Liu, the captain, remains ever present. The wing spiker from Beijing. And then the setting options, 2 great setters for China. They can go with either Ding Jia or Zhao Di. They've gone with Zhao Di to start this one. It'll be, I think, Lin Li at libero, and Duan Fang holds her place on court, the wing spiker in the number 20 shirt. And it is indeed Li who starts in that libero position. It's a good Chinese lineup, but it's completely new. 3 different rotations then to start 3 different matches for the legend that is Lang Ping. And that reception for the Chinese coach, louder than the team itself. Amazing. She is revered across the world, Lang Ping, but has to preside over a slightly different setup today against Serbia. Confirmation then of the Chinese team. It isn't Wang that starts at libero. It's going to be Li that gets underway, but don't be surprised if Wang comes into the game at some stage. But 2 new middle blockers on court for China. That's a big gamble. Mihailovic and Boskovic, 9 and 18, the big hitters for Serbia. But what support they've got around them. Great playmaker, Antonijevic, and then Razic and Stefanovic, the 2 middle blockers. And Milenkovic will feel very supported out there. Quite new, still quite new to the game at this world level, Milenkovic. So she's got some superstars around her to guide her through this one. Serbia then in the blue will serve, playing from right to left in this opening sets. And with the changes that we've got on this Chinese team, very new players out there, then Serbia have to come into this one as favourites. Antonijevic then to serve. We'll find out what kind of shape both teams are in as we move through the opening points of this game. And that'll do nicely. Gong is a really exciting prospect for China. I had a lot of talk about Yang, the middle player, and Li, the wing spiker, but I think Gong is a potential superstar. Has real athleticism, does the player from the Jiangsu province. Newbie on court then, Yang Han-yu. And a fine start from Serbia. 2 superb spikes to open this match, world-class stuff. Mihailovic on the score sheet straight away. Vital that she plays today and plays well. Good jump server, Mihailovic, when she gets the toss right. A little bit too far in front of her again, so ended up chasing that ball. Almost feels a little bit like Mihajlovic is a confidence player, and if those first few contacts don't go well, she seems to struggle to recover sometimes. China will be hoping against hope that Mihajlovic doesn't have a good game today. Gong. Good save from Antonejevic. And no linkage between the setter, Yaldi, and one of those new middle players on court. Both Wang Yuan and Yang Han-Yu haven't played as much of a role as they would like, but Wang is a pretty regular member of this team. Surprised to see them not link up there. Boskovic tips, but we'll see far more power from her. She's the biggest hitter on court today, the left-hander. Given a rest yesterday against Poland, but did come in on a couple of occasions, forced on that occasion to hit or to tip with her right hand instead of left. It's a super hit from Duan in that pike position. So running from the middle of the backcourt. Three blockers read it and formed reasonably well, but threaded it between the arms. Very emotional player, Duan. Both she and Hu have been entertaining over the last couple of days. This Chinese team, Liu the captain then. Oh, and Boskovic is stopped. That's a super shutdown. Duan alongside Wang. And it's Wang that gets all of it. That's a great block. She reaches 3 meters on her block touched as Wang Yuan, and she used all those centimeters there. Good work, Milinkovic goes off of the block of Yaldi. And that's what Serbia have to remember. That's what Antonejevic will be looking out for, those weaker blocking positions. And Yaldi certainly the setter for China, not as good at the net as some of the other blockers. Good serve. Good serve from Boskovic. She's absolutely ripped that. Left-hander hitting across the court, flying away from Lee, the libero. Hit another one. No. Oh dear. Well, under the strictest rules of volleyball, you're supposed to buy the opposition a drink if you completely miss the net and go underneath it. Zoran Terzic just wondering what he's going to have later. Oh, swing from Mihajlovic. That's a great comeback from her. Well, early signs for Serbia, although the scores are close, are good. Mihajlovic and Boskovic look like they're up for this one. Milinkovic to serve. Beograd player, plays in the Pro League in Serbia. And that's what China have to do today. They've got to pass well. And as long as they keep control of the ball, they've got enough hitters out there to do the job. Super shot from Gong. Got a free net to do it on after a brilliant set from Yaldi, pinned the blockers. Don't see that often. Clever from Antonejevic, but well resalvaged by China. And a beautiful tip from Duan. A good look at Stefanovic in the block there and realised that she was out of position and off the net. She shoved it down the arms. Not like Stefanovic to be so far off the net. Oh no. And this is what Serbia cannot afford to do. And a 2-point lead opened up with some really good serving from China. Doesn't all have to be fireworks from the service line. Just good, flat, deep serves can sometimes cause as much problem. And look at that ball move. That's gone one way, then the other. And Milenkovic and Popovic didn't know who was supposed to play that. Technical timeout then in set one, and looks like it's going to be another entertaining encounter. It's novel. Incidentally, before the action restarts, volleyball in Chinese is Pai Chao. Volleyball in Serbian, Od Pojke. There we go. It's today's language lesson done with, and on we go. No, Stefanovic has not started well here. Discussing with Antonojevic the fact that as far as she's concerned it was her responsibility. She just messed up the approach. 3-point lead. And a timeout for Zoran Terzic. We know what's coming, don't we? Bit of a telling off. Lively start by China. But I still think Serbia have got enough out there on court to get the job done today. China are going to have to play superbly well to win this one. Oh, that's nice. That's really nice to see. Antonojevic going straight back to Stefanovic. And that's got a lot to do with Stefanovic coming straight over to the setter on the previous point to say it was my fault. Antonojevic feels confident she can feed her again on that slide D, and that's a brilliant hit. Good serve as well. And a touched ace. Got that one high onto the arms of Liu, the captain. See if it moved at all. No, it just retained its trajectory, and that was going to drop in on the line, so Liu had to play it. And again, good serving. Oh, roof block. Milena Razic does the job. Serbian skipper shuts down the wing spiker Duan. No, in fact, it was Antonojevic. Razic trying to steal the thunder there. Didn't see that from the side on camera. Great block from the Serbian playmaker. Pick up Stefanovic. Wide to Mihailovic, and she just over-rotates in the air. Turned it towards the line, but her body was turning as well, and just hooked it out over the sideline and away from the block. And Serbia let China back into this. Challenge here. Moskovic thinks it hit hands, but more experienced players saying no. I think they might still have a little question here. So challenge requested. Did Moskovic manage to just catch the fingers of this Chinese block? Zoran Terzic got himself into trouble on day one when he disagreed with a video challenge, and I have to say, when we saw the video challenge replay, the touch wasn't that clear. Let's see if this is any clearer. Yeah, clearly out. for one of those fingers just to flex back. No touch. Good form block, wasn't it? Really good disciplined block. And there's not much that Terzic can argue about there. So challenge wasted by Serbia. Should have listened to the experienced players who were saying no touch there. Still in play. Gong. She goes for the tip. Antonovic has control again. And there we go. Just let Boskovic find her angles today, and she's going to be unstoppable. Beautiful set. Year-old Anna Antonovic with the serve, the Volleyball Zurich player in Switzerland. Oh, it's another good block. That's a horrible obstacle to get past. Milena Razic next to Tijana Boskovic. That's a huge wall. It's Boskovic that gets all of it. No. Ball just behind her head a little bit, Boskovic, and didn't time that very well at all. So once again, a bit like it's been all week here in Macau for Serbia. It's one step forward, two steps back, making it difficult for themselves. Haven't really tested China at the moment. Block again. And again. This is terrific stuff. Crowd loving it here in Macau. Boskovic this time stopped. Second shot for her. And she's done it. Well, that rally all started with a very strong serve, but a beautiful pass from Lin Li from China. That allowed China to really flow onto the ball. And then it was about an all-out hitting contest, trying to take the block on. Serbia come up with the point. That's good block alignment from the Serbian players. Not over-jumping, getting good penetration. And finally, Boskovic just getting it off the inside of the arms. Cross court to beat Gong. To Mihailovic serving. Missed her first serve today. So has to recover from that. No. Oh dear. It's definitely a timing issue for Mihailovic. Have to go back and do a little bit of work before our next round of matches. Gong. Spiker for China with the serve. Overpass. Oh, it should have been China's ball there. And it still is. So no concerns in the end. Problem Serbia have here, if they do pass it too far, they've got a backcourt setter, and if Antonovic can't jump high enough to play the ball, China will have the advantage. Going to serve again. Pick up from Lin. Not this time, though. Boskovic with the hammer. Beautiful reactions first up. What about that for a pick-up? Nice and low to the ground, Lin. Just can't get low enough there. Razic to serve. It's a valuable point there for Serbia, and they've given it straight back to China. It's a great serve from Liu. The only player in this Chinese team that really has a forceful topspin jump serve. Once again, that 2-point margin opened up by China as we hit the technical timeout. It's interesting, isn't it? But China have come into this match knowing exactly what their job is. It's quite a simple equation for China in terms of what they've got to do. Number one on the checklist is they've got to try and serve Serbia off the court. When you have slightly less to think about, you can focus all your attentions on those skills. So they've served really well. They've tried to keep their passing units strong so that they can keep the scoreboard ticking over in offense. Their block alignment against the big hitters has been pretty good too. Some stats so far in this first set. Too many errors from Serbia. That's what's really given China this lead rather than anything that China have done. What China has done is just kept them in the match, but Serbia have handed them a few points now with 2 serve errors from Mihailovic. Nice off pace, but well passed by Milenkovic. Milenkovic again. It's in play. Duan just didn't quite drive in hard enough for that ball. That's the problem when it's dropping quickly like that. Difficult to get your timing right to snap your hand on the ball. Boskovic, they need a serve from her now. They don't get it. Errors stacking up now for Serbia. That's 9 errors from Serbia so far in this set. Mihailovic has 2 points to her name, but also has 2 serve errors, so effectively on 0 in terms of her contribution. That's better. Gets her back into credit at the bank. Good pipe attack. One blocker to beat, she's done it well. Yan Hanyu has started this game well, the number 4, 18 years of age. One of her first caps for China today. Again, Duan having to chase in. That's a good reuse. Still in play. Brilliant piece of work from Milenkovic. Boskovic has to just dump it over. Still up. Still alive. Still alive. Popovic into the action. And Mihailovic just wails it out. She keeps doing this. That just required a bit of calm thinking after all of those great pickups and the ball going back and forth. Maybe just a roll shot into the corner would have done the job. 2 points again, the cushion for China. Zoran Terzic with his second timeout. He's one of those coaches that always seems to come at it from the angle of why did you do that? That's the shrugging. The overall feeling is it's still not good odbojka from Serbia here in Macau. 2 timeouts. Just acknowledge the second official just letting Zoran Terzic know that's it. He can't stop the game again unless it's for a challenge or a substitution. Good lineup for China here with the setter in service. Duan, good shot. Really good shot. Accelerated well into that ball, but then also hit the ball early. It's one of those things that a wing spiker can do. You can either let it come to you or you can go and get the ball, and that's what she did and beat the block. Very well done. It's not great still from Serbia. It's another relatively cheap point. Mihailovic is tipping into the block. Just gone a little bit early from Kong. Stefanovic then for Serbia. Easy pick up from Mihailovic, and oh dear, and now a fault on the net from Serbia. So Razic has either hit the net or landed and gone under. Let's see which it was. Hit the net, well spotted the officials. No challenge there because Razic knows she's done it. Just caught it with the fingertips. Net completely out of bounds for the players. That's an angry hit, we call that. Razic not happy. So he drills this one. Antonovic once again employing that tactic of going back to the same hitter. Works well. Liu says that caught the block. I think we'll see a challenge from China here. If it doesn't go their way, now it's been changed. Decision to China, so no challenge required. Serbia won't contest it because they know they touched it. Straight off of Razic's left fingertips. Oh dear, Milenkovic with a poor pass. Free ball China. Shot from Liu. China have got the basics right so far in this match. Gojevic, I think we might see her involved in the action. Milenkovic's pass remains a real concern for Serbia. Number 19 is looking a little fragile on serve receive. Okay. Young Hanyu hasn't done a lot wrong, the Shandong club player. 1.92 m tall little blocker who really does jump. She's got a huge reach. Spikes at 317, blocks at around 310. Very impressive athlete. Blagojevic is in. But not for Milenkovic. Serbia just chasing this game at the moment. Well touched from Blagojevic. And that's a super finish. And some spikes just leave a dent in the floor. Boskovic is one of those players that can do that. A big left-hander for Serbia. Just crunching it. She has to come to the party today, Boskovic. Timeout, Lang Ping, just sensing a slight shift in momentum after that big spike. But Serbia have got to sort this pass out, otherwise they can't win this match passing badly. It's a simple fact. Got to get this ball to Antonovic. Even if it's mid-court, they've got the luxury of two big hitters outside. So Antonovic just needs something towards the middle of court that she can work with. Ideally, though, she needs it on her head in position 2 so she can run the middle as well. So Lang Ping just stopping the game to give Blagojevic something to think about from the service line. Worked. Immediately the crowd and players and coaches around Lang Ping congratulating her on the timeout. Yang is on. So Yang comes on for Yardi. This is a straightforward height substitution in front court. So it looks like China are going to play this next rally minus a setter. Oh, and they don't need to play any rally. Straight ace. And And I'm afraid Milenkovic has been the weak link. That's 12 errors from Serbia. And if you're going to give that many free points away to your opponents, you can't win games. Simple as that. Serbia will have to tighten up. 4 set points to China then for a 1-0 lead here in Macau. Beautiful. Nice finish from Razic, the Vakif Bank Istanbul player. Tough competitor, the Serbian captain. The second half of the double sub happens, so Dingjia comes in, which means still got 3 tall front court players. Dingjia didn't realise she's back court, so she's got to penetrate to set this one. 3 set points then. Well, a bit weird and wonderful, that last attack. That was not planned, I can tell you. The left-handed opposite player, Yang Fanju, found herself in the middle, found herself with the ball in front of her, and she hit it well. And China, slightly unconventionally, get it across the line, but they won't be concerned about that. Fantastic stuff from China. And this mighty Serbian team are still not firing in Macau. China knew what they had to do, knew what the job entailed, and they've done just about everything right in set 1. China go 1-0 here in Macau on the team they beat in that Olympic final a couple of years ago. The fact still remains that Serbia have enough firepower out there on court to still win this match. But as long as China continue to take their service reception to pieces, then they give themselves chances to block and defend, and they've done it really well. 25-21. In the end, China breezing through that first set to lead by 1-0 here in Macau. Where does Zoran Terzic go from here? Such a big decision to take a player like Mikhailov off of court, but if you factor in the errors that she made in that first set against the 4 points that she earned, by my calculations, 5 errors, 4 points, and Mihailovic didn't provide much help for her team in set 1. And similarly, if we look at the number of passes that Milenkovic messed up in that first set, number 19, put under a lot of pressure by the Chinese servers. She only scored 1 point herself in offense. So Milenkovic finding out what it's all about on the big international court today. She's got to step up to the plate here, do the job for her team. So Serbia need to start getting this service reception right, release the big hitters, and then they can start to power their way through this match. China just need to keep their opponents exactly where they've got them, on the rack from the service line. Good call from Liu to back off in the block. And they make the point. China with a good start to set 2. Third different combination of players used by Lang Ping here in Macau, and this by far looks the most stable. With a bit of help from the net, threads that through and onto the floor. Boskovic on 8 points now. Make it 9. Big first hit for Mihailovic, and as I said at the start of this game, in terms of her confidence, then that will help a lot. Just wanted to get that first spike away. Maybe that will just now get her into some kind of rhythm. It's taking the block too wide, Serbia. Goes wide. It's a struggle for Rasic to get all the way out there. I think this match is just going to tick along pretty much the same pace that we watched in set 1. Got to look out for are those momentum swings or those little runs of services from China that will dictate which way this set will go. Mihailovic cannot get a ball in court from the service line. 3 serves, 3 errors. Playing well so far. 4 points for China in set 1. And another point created from a good serve, and it's that problem again for the Serbian serve-receive. Milenkovic once more with the poor pass. Don't know how she can stay on court if she keeps passing like this. A little bit better. And here's one of those runs of points I was talking about on a rotation where China can just keep going after Milenkovic. Good alignment on the Chinese block again. Milenkovic with another poor pass. Boskovic saves the day. Don't want to pick on a player by any means. It's tough out there. It's a really tough game. China, amongst the best servers in the world, but if your job is to get the ball from the service to the setter and you're not doing it, something has to give. And Rasic follows it up with a serve error, which rather indicates just where Serbia are at the moment. They're spluttering along in this game, just like days 1 and 2. Not finding top gear, but against Poland and Thailand, that was good enough to win. Against China, it won't be good enough. Good shot from Milenkovic. That will hopefully raise her spirits. Good height. Took that right over the top of Yardi, the blocker. Big shot from Boskovic. Great serve. And that's genuine quality. think Serbia just over-celebrating some of these individual points. It's runs of points they need. Boskovic needs to take this out to 2, then 3 points. No. Poor service toss. Ended up chasing the ball, and it's really tough to get topspin on it. And in comes Hugh Manguang. She's been the star of the show for a couple of days, the middle blocker. Always entertaining. A lot of fun to watch. Comes on the 20-year-old to replace the 18-year-old through the middle. So Young comes off the court, Hugh comes on. And throw down block from Stefanovic. Not in my house, I believe the phrase is, even though it's not Serbia's house by any stretch of the imagination, but Stefanovic patrolling the net well here. Down you go. So the technical timeout arrives. I would imagine both coaches more than happy to have this opportunity to talk. Much better communication there between coach and players. Chinese captain Yu making away at the moment to 5 points in this game, so top scorer for China in those terms. That's not what it's about today for this Chinese team. It's not about any star emerging as the leading scorer. It's about every single player doing their job, especially from the service line. Defend when called to defend, good organisation in the block, and those are those 3 components that the Chinese team are going to rely on today. Back line. Doesn't look particularly happy at the moment, the Serbian number 19. She's been given a horrible workout at the moment. Relatively straightforward side out from China. Milinkovic again, I'm afraid. That touch from the Chinese players. Now, are we going to see a challenge on this one? Both players looked a little confused as to who touched the net. Serbian point at the moment. I think it will remain so. A little too late to really see who touched the net, but it certainly looked like a net touch. Just over. It's going to work well for Serbia. No, it isn't. Spoke too soon. Well, Serbia just not finding any flow and any rhythm to their game. China exploiting that to the maximum. On the baseline. Duan went to chase that, but decided it was going long, but it's just dipped in from Boskovic. It's nicely played. Yeah, good tall lineup for 3 rotations in the front court for Serbia. And a nice serve from Antonijevic. Now, second free ball opportunity. This time, the connection between Antonijevic and Razic is good. Rotation error, signalled by the second official. Yao Di encroaching from that penetration position in backcourt too quickly. If you think about your positions, those 6 positions on court, side by side and in front of each other, and you have to be to the right side of the correct player, you have to be behind or in front of the correct player. Not as confusing as it sounds, I promise you. China doing the right thing, not getting embroiled in too many discussions, just getting back on with it. Xu Mingyuan goes to the service line. Little bit of breathing space here for Serbia. Better from Milenkovic. Just going back to the previous 2 games, when Milenkovic has come on court and not passed particularly well, she has improved as the game has gone on. Her pass has got better, and that needs to happen here. I'm sorry, but that's 4 from 4 from a star player. 4 missed services from Mihailovic. You might as well stand on the floor and just bump it over underarm, just get the ball in play. Moskovic still keeping Serbia moving forward. You know what will happen now, of course. Daniel Mihailovic will hit a rich vein of jump serves for the rest of this match and win it virtually single-handed. But at the moment, Moskovic is the player that Serbia are relying on for their attacking points. Blockers getting very frustrated now because they feel they're putting up a decent blocking obstacle. Let's see how they do here. No, there's a gap between, and that's where the ball's gone, between the arms and past Mihailovic. No blame on Mihailovic there at all. Oh, this is good stuff from China. And that's a very calm kill from Duan. Just saw there was space in position 5 in that deep corner. Didn't get carried away, took the block out of the equation and rolled it high after a super pickup from Captain Liu. And they follow with another great serve. Liu, the only real jump server in this team in terms of powerful topspin serves. She's absolutely crunched that one. And again, oh dear me, and this Serbian receive is just under all sorts of pressure. But they don't have any options in that sense. There's not a lot they can do to change things. That's not Milenkovic's fault. That's a good serve that just clipped the net and made it even better. It's in play. Milenkovic repairs the damage. Well done. Good shot off the top of the blocker's fingers. Just taking too much on there. Second technical timeout arrives and Serbia in a slightly better position than they were in the first set. Lang Ping of China to the USA to play and study, University of New Mexico, back back in the day. Went on to have a phenomenal international career with China, and then instead of carrying on into a coaching position immediately with China, actually coached in the USA. She became a very popular figure, known by her nickname, Jenny. Serbia then, and Boskovic in the number 18 shirt, just about hanging in here, but they cannot afford another poor service run. Got to get some ball into court with pressure. Just take something away from their side-out game. Good shot, nicely picked up by Lin. And China see off the challenge of Boskovic. Scrappy with her form in the air, Duan, but she goes at the ball really hard. Wang Yuan with the serve. Good rescue here from China. Oh dear. You can almost draw a line across the Serbian court at the moment. Right across the middle. The front court is functioning as well as it can. Back court is a mess. This is a really straightforward ball to play, and for some reason Popovic hasn't played it. Maybe she thought Mihailovic was going to take the ball. China release the pressure with a serve error. Wang Ping just understands the process of winning games. She's very patient with her players. Serbian players just feels like they're under pressure from Terzic all the time. Well controlled. Antonovic though has to race across the court to get there. Milinkovic takes over to set for Mihailovic, and she's wailed another one out of court. Not the easiest hit to make, but these are still direct errors. Well, 19 points now, that's just ticked over with that Mihailovic error. So Serbia have given the best part of a whole set to China in direct errors. Milinkovic still cannot get the ball to Antonovic. And unfortunately this time, Mihailovic makes the shot. Good block. Just when Serbia needed it on Duan. Razic it is that gets in on the action, the Serbian captain. Timeout called by Lang Ping. Lang Ping knows as much as Serbia are just stumbling along here, she knows there's always the threat. They've always got enough on court to get themselves out of trouble. Something China didn't let them do in set one, but they're just letting them back in here in set two. Now, both matches today have got the possibility of 5 sets in them. Certainly the case for Poland-Thailand. Thailand coming through 3 sets to 2 in a fantastic game. And even if China go 2-0 up here, Serbia's still capable of coming back. Well, I think this will be challenged, and I think that looked pretty close to the line, although the referee's not bothered with the lines judge's call, has overruled and said that's in, so China would have to challenge, and they know it's in. Point Serbia, and a valuable one. That's more like it. Each point, though, for Serbia just feels like a lottery sometimes. Conviction about their work, but it's much better. 1 point doesn't win a set. They're going to need lots more of those. Stefanovic to serve again. Good serve. Good block. Razic once again in on the action, and the Serbian captain here is really lighting things up for her team. Monster block it is. Some of the Serbian players getting with it. Second stop for Lang Ping, and that's her last throw of the dice. Substitutions and challenges notwithstanding, that is. There's the Razic block. That was a cracker. Stefanovic on a good service run here. She's getting the serve to dip really quickly into the wing spiker to pass, but that one's a little longer to Lin. And that allows the setter, Yardi, to release the players. So good timeout from Lang Ping once again. Now the Serbian stars have to step up. Mihailovic and Boskovic have to get this finished. More than that, Serbia have got to pass the ball. Good from Milenkovic. Still alive. Oh, no. Sometimes when you turn off that block and you're looking for the ball, you just can't see where it's gone. Tanajovic just took a bit of time to pick up the ball flight from the hand of Boskovic. Couldn't recycle it, so Terzic's time now. Zoran Terzic was asking for more penetration on the block. Get those hands across the net. Reduce the potential for wipe-offs for the Chinese players. Time to serve. Well controlled. Nice one-handed set by Antonijevic. Razic doing the rest, just arriving on time to take the pressure off the setter. 3-point advantage Serbia, 2 points away from levelling this game. Oh, that is a shot. Crossover play from China. Just trying to put a smoke screen up for the Serbian blockers, but this is still a hell of an angle. What a hit from Gong. Popovic was not expecting that. Hugh back on court, good serve, overpass, but Serbia still in the rally. Boskovic doesn't put it away. Razic, though, does, but not in the way that she was hoping. Jump for the original power hit, but the set was just a touch too high. The Serbian captain waiting and waiting and waiting, and then tipping. Thundersticks working here in Macau to try and raise the spirits. 3 set points for Serbia. Blagojevic on to serve, and it's a good serve. Serbia now to get back in this match. No, free ball. This time, maybe. Oh dear. And a complete miss hit from Boskovic. Coming off her wing to chase this ball, and it's just come off the side of the hand and into the net, and that's not good. But still 2 attacking opportunities to put this set away, Serbia. No. Boskovic stopped by Wang Yuan, who gets really high with her block and reaches right over. Good stop. And this is a real tester now for Serbia and for Antonijevic. If she gets another good pass, Antonijevic, what's the shot selection? Because normally she would set Boskovic, but Boskovic has been blocked and mishit. She won't be feeling all that confident, so big decision here on the next set for Antonijevic. That's, of course, if Serbia pass it to her. Pass has definitely improved over the last 10 minutes or so for the team in blue. Points at the moment for Duan. She's been really lively again, but the top scorer at the moment is still Yu for China, the captain, on 9 points. Boskovic on 15 points for Serbia, and boy, do they need her to move it to 16 here. Gone with the serve, still set point Serbia. Decent pass. Boskovic, no! Stopped again. Second shot. Oh, and she's got it away this time. Slightly nervous smile of relief, but Serbia just about find enough in set 2. Not done too much for Zoran Terzić's heart rate, I can tell you. But Serbia have got it across the line. And at last, they will feel they're in this match. Just took it high again and took it deep again. That is brave setting for Antonijevic. She just decided, that's it, it's not going anywhere else. I know what I'm doing with this ball, and I'm going to try and get it in the best place possible for Boskovic. And Serbia benefit, just taking that second set, and we're 1-1 here in Macau. Serbia showing some mental toughness towards the end of that game. Slight improvement in the first pass. And Antonijevic could really function as a setter and start to provide the kind of service to those big hitters that she needed to do. And Serbia out-spiking China in set 2 for 25 points to 23. We're 1 set apiece. Serbia's spike placement, it's been a bit all over the place in set 1. A little bit more grouped in set 2. So there's a lot of traffic coming through that middle part of the court. That's largely down to the sets that Antonijevic has managed to provide for Razic and Stefanovic. And the 2 middle blockers for Serbia need to keep functioning at the highest level. But more importantly than that, Boskovic and Mihailovic need to keep hitting well. Milenkovic needs to continue that improvement in the first pass. Ming Huan looks like she's got a start here in set 3 through the middle. See who she's replaced, whether it's going to be Yang Han Yu or Wang Yuan. I suspect it's going to be Yang because Wang's blocking against Boskovic in particular was really impressive. Same lineup by the looks for Serbia as Antonjevic prepares to serve. So Serbia back on level terms. Can they now take this match to a conclusion? Oh, ho, ho, ho. Well, that's why the middle players like the overpasses, because you can look really, really good when you hit them. Good timing on the swing from Hugh, and this has gone straight down. Oh, dear. Well, that's one element I referred to that is still costing Serbia points. That's 21 direct errors from Serbia in this match. And conversely, China only handing 7 free points to Serbia. Good from Mihailovic, although that's not a regular side of the court, right side. Plays 2 rotations left side. That'll do. Now, no serves in court for Mihailovic at the moment. Can she get one in now? Yes, at last, although relatively straightforward. Played on. Serbia might contest this. Shot. No need for any arguments. Milenkovic gets it finished. It's Wang Yuan that keeps her place on court, the number 7 through the middle. So Hugh has replaced Yang Han Yu. That's all fine. Perfectly legal. Oh, it's in. Ace serve. What did I say earlier in the broadcast? Mihailovic is going to step up now with a run of punishing aces. Well, that'll do for starters. Yes, another shot. Overpass. Well controlled by China, but Serbia's still in it. That's a brilliant decision by Antonjevic. That's really clever from the Serbian setter. She knew that Mihailovic had just hit 2 balls. Mihailovic screaming for the set. Why not give her another shot in a relatively similar court space to put away? 3 good points then from Mihailovic, starting to repair some of those points lost earlier in the game. Well played through the middle, nice connection. Yaldi firing that ball at Wang Yuan, contacting it at that 3-12 spike reach. Look how far above the net she is there. It's a great shot, and it's fast. Razic doing the right thing, shutting down the power line, but a good cut back from Wang. Better pass from Milenkovic. Antonjevic trying to try the same thing with Razic, but it hasn't worked yet. Just a bit more comfortable at the moment, Serbia. And in these scrappy rallies, they are working a little bit harder to get control of the ball. It's only a matter of time before one of the big hitters will put it away. Now into the net from Mihailovic, so no touch off the block. Good save from Milenkovic off her own spike. Got to hit it again. Oh no, straight into Wang. Boskovic meant that one. That's a quality spike. Well, it's going to be questioned by Serbia, but I think this did hit the line. So Wang on the slide D makes the kill. Serbia not challenging, quite rightly. Overpass again, but this time blocked. Antonijevic knew what was going to happen there, and Hugh didn't see the block going up. It's a swift piece of thinking from the Serbian setter. Not how you'd want to win the point, but it's a point. Boskovic. Just trying too much there. Trying to win the point from a horrible position. Serbia, for me, though, looks so much more engaged now. Tricky few rotations to come here as Jardy goes into the back line. So 3 good blockers in the front court for China, but no need for Serbia to do anything there. Just call out and leave it. Good decision. And the technical timeout arrives with Serbia leading 8-7. Encouraging signs out there for the team in blue. Boskovic, her form's certainly one of them. But you can often read a lot into how scoring happens. In the first set, it looked like Serbia were working so hard for their points and it took them so long to get back in touch with China. In the second and third sets, when they look like they're making errors and things aren't going well, just look at the scoreboard. It's still close. Serbia coming back relatively quickly every time they get in trouble. So things certainly starting to look better for the Olympic silver medalists against the Olympic gold medalists. They've got a couple of rotations more to see off, and then Serbia will look to score heavily once they get Jardy, the setter, onto the front court. It's a real opportunity for focusing the sets on the left side. Boskovic will still get a fair amount of ball as well on the right side. from Milenkovic. Boskovic does the job. That's the kind of rally that will give Serbia a lot of encouragement, because they worked hard for that. Pick up from Lin. Play, it's in play. Still there. Marvellous from Popovic. And China miss. And that is a huge point for Serbia. And even Lang Ping nods her approval. That was incredible stuff. Refused to believe this point was over, and look at Popovic there, getting the hands up in front of her face to defend. Kept the ball in play and then just cut out of the court on the sideline by the captain Liu, but that was some recovery, and to stay the right side of the centre line as well from Mihailovic. Real character there from the big number 9. What a scrap. Oh, that was worth a celebration from Zoran Terzic, surely. But no, keeps it all calm. Yeah, nicely run. Really good play off a fast pass into the setter, so there's already pace on the ball, and then it was just about where Yardi wanted to make that set go. Went on the slide D around the reverse set to Hugh. Mihailovic just jumped too early. That's a long way over the edge of the baseline. Sure, you're just spotting a pattern here. Player kills ball, goes back to the service line, player misses serve. Sure, it's got something to do with being just a little bit too revved up at the service line if you've just hit a good shot. Mihailovic then with the jump serve. Long. And the return from the service line from Mihailovic is still less than average. Now we might have a challenge here. It's probably worth a look, because it was travelling at some pace, so they're going to see if the ball compressed enough. Remember how hard Mihailovic hits this. Sometimes gets it to compress onto the line. And it's a long way out. Couldn't even compress a basketball to hit the line from there. Let alone a volleyball. So, not a great challenge. On comes the usual starting opposite. So, young Fang Zhu, with all of her experience back on court. That's a super effort. That's Dong, the opposite player, that has run all the way in. And the reason that Gong has had to do that is because China are playing, by the looks of it, without a setter down there. They've just made a regular substitution that's brought Fang into the front court as a blocker, and they've removed Yardi. So this is a big gamble from China. Still no setter on court for the Chinese. Who's going to set it this time? Wang. Not a bad job either to Liu. Who needs setters? This is great stuff from China. Just manufacturing points. Don't worry, Yardi will be back on soon. She'll see the funny side of it, especially at 12 all. Serbia won't be amused. Third point in a row then with no playmaker on court for China. Better pass from Milenkovic, that's a good effort, but Wang again decides to be the setter. Serbia have got to win this point. And they do. And the non-setter experiment will be over. Now, it won't be Yardi that comes back on by the looks of it. I think the substitution will be that double sub-reversal, so Dingjia comes back on. But comes on for Gong, so now China operating with a setter from the back court, which means 3 big players in the front court for 3 rotations. Played from Liu, good salvage from Milenkovic, and Boskovic gets up high and does the rest. And you see what I mean about the scoreboard now? That was Serbia under a lot of pressure. It looked like they were going to lose 3 points, but in the blink of an eye, they're back to 2 points up. And that shows you the team that is just a little bit more in control of the game than the other. 14-12 Serbia. China going to have a little dart here with a challenge on a net touch. But again, when you see the coach go to work immediately after they've challenged, I suspect this is more like a timeout. And if you use your challenges in that way, effectively, you're going to give yourself the 2 technical timeouts, your 2 regular timeouts, and your 2 challenges. So 6 times you'll be able to stop the game and speak to your players. As I said, maybe that's a rule that will get looked at some point. Ping said all she wants to say. Spends a lot of time in the States still. But very much part the Chinese setup these days. Coach Olenek of Russia ready to give his decision, just waiting for the final replay to be shown. Review in progress, in case you were wondering. And the review is for a net touch. Did Boskovic hit the net? Ball still alive, no fault. So, with something as obvious as that, you know what that challenge was about. That was Lang Ping taking an extra timeout. Razic, 2 points the advantage. Serbian captain will be a lot happier with the way things are at the moment. And that'll be 3 points the advantage. Boy, that came back with interest. It is like hitting a brick wall against these big blockers. The harder you hit it, the harder it comes back. Not this time, though. Just enough space between the blocker and the hitter for some angles to be created there, and Liu has hit the target well. Keeps the deficit at 2, but one good solid pass and attack from Serbia, and they go into the technical timeout 3 points up. Liu serves. Good pass from Milenkovic. Knocked down though from Serbia. She's too clever, Liu. That's Duan, my apologies to her. Mixing it up nicely, getting some good height there, Duan. She's got to be contacting that ball up at around about 310. That'll give her what she needs to make the shots. 1 point in it. Good pass again from Serbia. Boskovic. Oh my goodness, that's almost on the tee. And not only has she hit that hard, but the angle was just ridiculous. What a shot. Nevermore has the stadium soundbite been more appropriate. Here comes the boom, indeed. 16-14 at the technical timeout. Serbia still in control of set 3. for a little score update, I think, in terms of the players and their points. Boskovic leading the charge for Serbia, 23 points now to her name. Serbia just out attacking China at the moment in this set. That's why they've got the lead. Another big hit from Boskovic. It's a reuse play for China, but a great block. Stefanovic and Antonijevic finish it off. In terms of China, the workload still being spread, but Liu, the captain, still with the most points on 12. But Duan doesn't get away with the second kill. Good height from Stefanovic, who continues to impress in the block for Serbia. Good recovery from Milenkovic. No one there to hit it though, so Mihailovic has to scurry in. China shutting Mihailovic down at the net. She's on 10 in terms of her points haul, but remember, there's a lot of service errors, blocked shots and missed spikes in there as well, which will count against her stats. Problem pass for Serbia. Dangerous times here. They don't want to give China any sniff of this set. Milenkovic originally thought Popovic was going to play it, then Stefanovic wandered in front of her. It's not an easy zone to be passing in. And they've hit her again, and that's much better. That's clever. Well played, Stefanovic. Got himself into the air, got a good look at the court. Decided on that occasion discretion is the better part of valour. Easy pick up. Oh dear. Well, that's well dispatched by Stefanovic, and Boskovic and Mihailovic nearly clumbing to blows there. Accidentally, of course. As Mihailovic ran towards Boskovic and punched her in the face. Yan Ni, another experienced player on for China now in the middle. Tall player Yan Ni, the 31-year-old from Liaoning. 92, touches 317 on the spike and 306 on the block, but those stats go out the window if you can't pass the serve, and Milenkovic atones for earlier passing errors. Lang Ping's seen enough. Timeout China. Watch it drop. As long as there's no spin on the ball, then the air is going to play a role. As it flows across the ball, it's going to move it one way or the other. Players do specifically practice that with the float serves. Think of the thousands of hours that Lang Ping and other coaches have watched over the years. This sport, they'll know which way this game is going, and at the moment it looks very much like a 2-1 to Serbia to set them up for the win here in Macau, and that would be 3 wins in a row for them, keeping them very high on the table. Nice finish. Didn't see a lot of that in yesterday's game against Thailand. Fanjal looked a little sluggish to me. Really drove in after this ball and demolished it. Inclusion to the action for her. Big hit from Mihailovic. Always makes it look like the defender's been knocked off their feet, but it's usually the defender just trying to absorb the power of the hit, so you have to rock back a little bit. Nowhere else to go but to fall over. 21-17, Serbia in control. She's had a good run, Stefanovic, to put Serbia in this position. So that service error is a longer-term issue. Gong back in. Yao Di back in, so that substitution with Fang. And Ding Xia is over. The one with the serve. Big shot from Boskovic. Lin just couldn't absorb enough of that power in defence. Antonevic to serve. 3 tall blockers for Serbia now in the front court. But that's a super hit off the top of the hands and out. It's Gong again. Spell on the bench, but back in, and look at the height. It's a terrific hit. Oh dear. Antonevic jumped to set the ball because she knew it was tight to the net, but just didn't quite get her angles right. So by the time she arrived at the ball, it just fell off the end of her fingers for a fault. No problem there, though. To scuttle back a little bit to make the set, but found Razic easily enough. Almost convincing of hits from Razic, but if it goes to space, it goes down. Little deflection from Gong helping. Blagojevic on. 2 points between Serbia and 2-1 in this game. Picked up, but nobody else to pick up Liu's diving dig. Just about the whole Chinese team on the floor there by the end of that point. That's an indicator, really, for the situation that we've got right now in this set. Serbia 4 set points for 2-1. Calling a timeout, just trying to cause a few problems for Serbia here, but Blagojevic, very experienced player, I think she'll be too concerned, and Serbia will have a couple of attacks for the win anyway if she misses. First set point saved, good shot from Gong going off the hands of Milenkovic. Still Serbia with 3 attacking opportunities to take this set. Oh, it's back in play. Well reacted by Blagojevic. Good dig, Popovic. Another chance for Serbia. Boskovic, there it is. Same shot that we've seen her use quite a few times in this set. That acute angle across the court. And it's good enough for Serbia to claim set 3. And they are looking better and better in this match. Serbia now 1 set away from 3 wins in a row here in Macau. That was the first hit. Bounced back off Blagojevic in block cover. And another go. Milenkovic picked up by Lin. But as the ball comes back off that Popovic dig, Boskovic knows where she's going. Cross court and down. This is a cracker of a hit. Serbia now look like they're very confident out there on court, and they lead by 2-1 here in Macau. It's taken a while for Serbia to really get rolling in this match, but now they look in control, and it's China that look like they're playing second fiddle and have all the work to do to get back in this game. Once again, let's take a look at some of the distribution of these attacks from Serbia. Really, star of the show, Boskovic, with 26 points so far, and that's why we're seeing a lot of ball go to the right side of court. Don't think we'll see that change too much unless the pass really does settle down and give Antonijevic the opportunity to just open that middle up a little bit more for Razic and Stefanovic. There's Boskovic. She's been good today. Made a few poor decisions, but overall a little bit Śmazek of Poland. When her team has needed her to step up, she has. Really, all that Serbia are missing now is for Mihailovic to join the party in Macau. It's been an unusual week for her. Just hasn't found the form she would like to bring to this Nations League party. It has been a party here in Macau. The action has been just fantastic. Absolute feast of volleyball across the world for the women to start the week off, and then the men's competition in the FIVB Volleyball Nations League gets underway from tomorrow onwards. So much to look forward to. Still a lot to look forward to in this game. China not out of it just yet. Serve to begin set 4, chasing this match now though with Serbia 2-1 up. Good play, Antonijevic making the right decision there. Faked to set it, made it look like she was going to actually set the ball, but she knew that was a bit too high to do that, so went over on 2. Straightforward point, Antonijevic to serve, and again, good rotations when she's in the back court. Serbia really strong in the front line. Oh, that's a roof. Boskovic just shutting the lights out on the Chinese captain. Good to see all the players and the fans joining in this whole monster block concept. And, gone, just overcutting that one down the line. Mihailovic setting up a block, trying to force the issue. Gone. Not done too much wrong in this match. Very good again. 3 points up. Antonijevic to serve. Serbia now. Complete control. They serve, and it's getting better and better. Generally speaking, the Chinese passing unit has been really good today. Duan just making the wrong decision, thought it was going wide, left it, and it's in. Better pass from her. And that's a great dig from Popovic. Milenkovic recovers, Boskovic just ships it over. And again, Popovic, brilliant. Mihailovic finishes. And Lang Ping's going to say timeout here. Yeah, confirmed. Press the correct buzzer to signal to the second official that you wish to stop the game, whether that be for a substitution, for a timeout or for a challenge. And that is the perfect start for Serbia in set 4. The start of those last couple of rallies, 2 immense pickups. And then Mihailovic doing what she's on court to do, finishing for the point. Antonijevich again, good service run to open this set. And finally, the ball dispatched. And for the first time in this match, we get to see one of the new stars for China, Li Yingying, the 18-year-old left-hander. To me, like Lang Ping has got a plan for Li Yingying. Wants her to play left side as opposed to right, which is where she's come onto the court. But Mihailovic has found a bit of form here. Good shot. That's a sweet hit down the line. Yanni, the middle player, never going to get to that. Amazing, isn't it? What a bit of confidence does for your game. Just like that. That's what the big players do. Having had a pretty torrid time of it, Mihailovic comes up with 3 straight points. Booming serve. And again. Milenkovic misses. Immediately signals to the bench no touch, so don't bother with the challenge. What Serbia mustn't do here is relax. Got to keep playing with the same intensity that has given them this 7-1 or 7-2 lead. Going with the serve. And the C-quick, Rasic puts it away. Nicely done, and Serbia get to the technical timeout after a really good hit from Rasic, but a very good set from Antonijevich. Swings and roundabouts, really. Antonijevich, you feel one of the luckiest setters in world volleyball, having this group of hitters around her, but you've seen what the Serbian pass can be like from serve reception. You've seen how sketchy it can be, so it's a double-edged sword really for her, setting to world-class hitters, but sometimes setting off a pretty average pass. So the pass from Mihailovic, right on the money. All smiles at the moment from Serbia. It's funny how quickly those smiles can evaporate. Rasic with the miss. The libero replaces her captain. Li Yingying goes back to the service line. It's just great from Boskovic. Point 28 for her. Did well as well. That ball wasn't quite there to be hit down the line, so she accelerated into it and made the angle. Now you can see Stefanovic now standing with her hands behind her head because she got clonked on the head by Boskovic earlier this week from a jump serve. So now she's just trying to protect herself, and that one was a little bit too close for comfort. Good swing from Milenkovic. Now this could come back. Not quite. That's a heavy, heavy swing from Milenkovic. Good hit. Just not in a ready position. Wang Yuan, the middle player. If you've got to make that downward movement to get to the ball, then you're not low enough in defence to start with. Good serve. And good block. That was an accident waiting to happen, that one. All looks good in the Serbian camp, 11-4. Free ball coming. Oh, what a block. Oh, that's a terrific effort from Yanni. Just roofed Mihailovic out of sight. Great action from the hands and wrists as well to finish that. And Stefanovic salvages the situation. Not the best set from Antonijevic, but to be fair to the Serbian setter, that connection on the slide D to Stefanovic hasn't really worked today. Not seen Stefanovic hit anything too hard except one in the first set. Nice. Nicely done. Beautiful deception from Antonijevic. Perfectly legitimate for the setter, the playmaker, to get that ball over the net on the second touch. And all three Chinese blockers still on the floor. Second timeout from Lang Ping then, so she's not going to have any chances apart from challenges to stop the game after the second technical timeout arrives at 16. So she's pretty much saying to the players, this is it. This is our last chat before the technical. You've got to get something done here. Still no smile from Zoran Terzic, but a result, and a good one for Serbia, looks imminent. An interesting hit from Gong. Block must have been really poorly aligned to allow this angle. Yeah, just cuts it straight past Antonijevic. Just a good shot. Duan to serve, wearing quite a heavy back brace is Duan. Free ball. And Mihailovic, with the help of the block, puts it away for another point to Serbia. Good recovery. So Serbia had to go again, but back back to Antonijevic to serve. It was her service run that caused all the problems at the start of this set. And it looks like she's going to have another go at a run here. Razic with a really easy dispatch off the overpass. That is indeed the case, and Li Yingying, I suspect that's why she didn't start this match, because her service reception still needs work. Serbia absolutely running away with this. Second technical timeout, 10-point advantage. And it looks like 3 in a row for Serbia here in Macau, which will keep them right up there with the USA and Brazil on the league table in the Volleyball Nations League. Remember, top 5 teams go through to join the hosts in Ningbo, China, who are already qualified for the Nations League final. That's what's given Langping this little bit of leeway to bring some new players in and get them a feel for this world stage. Change. In comes Jung. Her first run out on court here in Macau. Another overpass, another hit. This time Boskovic puts it away. You don't normally expect to see a lot of points against the name of the setter, because they're not the person that terminates the points, generally speaking, but Antonijevic has moved to 8. Swing from the left-hander Li from a very awkward position. Razic vacates the court. Alexic comes on. Player Alexic, a big middle blocker. Capable of coming into this situation, making an impression. Boskovic works it off the hands and over the sideline. Well watched by Milenkovic, was making sure she was there all the way. Gojevic gets the call again, comes in for Mihailovic on the serve. Probably not a bad idea, considering where Mihailovic has served today. Still got 15 points though, Mihailovic. And a good serve. And I'm afraid this Chinese passing unit has disintegrated in set 4. Look how much movement Blagojevich got on that ball. That swung a long way right to left. So the hit into the antenna this time from Li, and that is out of bounds to the attacker. Another point, Serbia. Zoran Terzic now knows the job is done. He can start thinking about future weeks. Also start thinking about a possible finals berth as well. Li nails the sideline. It's a good angle from her. Pick up. But no way through. Li finding out what it's all about here on the world stage. Get the ball too tight to those blockers from the setter, and there's only one result. A superb block from Boskovic, and that moves her contribution to 31 points in the game. Too much trouble with missed serves now, not the kind of problems that those missed serves were giving Serbia at the start of this match. Not with a lead like this. Lee back at the line for China. Again, China's point. Celebration from Wang Yuan. She thinks she just won the game, but actually just reduced the deficit to a mere 11 points. Still in play, but that's another poor pass from Milenkovic. Fortunately for Serbia, Boskovic is on hand again with her 5th kill block of the match. It's really, really good form in the air. I think the temptation was always there, and Stefanovic is going to get fed up standing in that position with Boskovic serving. That was another one that went mighty close to her head. Good shot. Well, China creating a few points here. Gong once again to demonstrate her athleticism. Free ball now. Can Serbia sort it out? Better pass and a better kill. Stefanovic somehow threading that onto the line from there. It's good to see, isn't it, the way the Lang Pink communicates with her players. Tries to keep the focus very much open and a two-way channel. That's a nice hit from Blagojevic. No, it's long. Now, Serbia might review this one. Trouble is, you don't want to take too much impetus out of the game at this point, but it's probably worth a look. With the ball travelling at this speed, it's amazing how many times your gut instinct isn't correct. Fall out. Worth a review, but it hasn't gone their way. But it's not a problem still for Serbia. China have got a long way to go to get back into any sort of competitive shape here. 10 points to find. That'll do for starters. Ace off the arms of Milenkovic. Serbia have now given China an entire set and a little bit more in direct errors. Oh, well played. Very carefully done by Jardy. Oh dear. Well, Blagojevic was coming in for a fast, flat ball, but the ball that came out from Antonjevic was slow and had a peak. So she had to adjust her run-up and just smack that straight into Gong's block. Just as Serbia looked like they got the job done, China put a bit of pressure on. It's called having one foot on the plane. It's not over till it's over. So just a little bit of composure required here from the Serbian team. Settle it down, side it out. Then you can check in at the airport. Good defence from Lin. It's coming back. And it comes back with pressure. Another cheeky point scored by China. No. And Jardi just gets it all wrong with that jump float serve. Doesn't get the right contact on the ball and it just flies over the baseline. And now plenty of match points for Serbia. Blagojevic has missed again. No challenge required this time. Still no real alarm bells sounding here. Whole load of match points for Serbia. Blagojevic has done it. Power tip. And Serbia have beaten China here in Macau to reverse that Olympic result of a couple of years ago. And Serbia march on to a very good record here in the FIVB Volleyball Nations League. And they will certainly be pushing USA and Brazil for top spot in the coming weeks. For China, well, not a bad 3 games of experimentation, missing 2 key players. I think Lang Ping will be happy enough with the positives that she's seen. And they will be going to Ningbo as hosts, so no concern for them with regard to qualification. Plenty of opportunity to give some new players a run out. But for Serbia, still looking the part when they get it together. Took them time to get going in this match, but when they finally got going, that was an impressive final set. And Serbia make it 3 in a row here in Macau with a 3-1 victory over the hosts, China. Little look at the final point. Blagojevic having to come in off her wing to make that shot, but kept it nice and calm and just put a bit of power into the tip, into space. And it was 1 point too far for China. Delight for the Serbian fans here in Macau, and on their day, Serbia certainly looked like a team that could win this Nations League. Be delighted with 3 victories here in China. So Serbia doing enough in those key areas out on court to get this one over the line, and significantly in the end outscoring China with that last set performance to take this match 3-1 and give themselves 3 wins here in Macau. Congratulations then to Serbia, and also well done to China, Thailand and Poland, providing us with 3 days of fantastic Volleyball Nations League entertainment. From Macau is goodbye, and thank you very much for your company, and thanks for being part of the Games.
Team play?
Well, what can I say? Of course that I'm happy we won 3 games out of 3. Honestly, we didn't play very well at the beginning of all of the 3 games, but at the end we won the 3 points, actually 9 points at the end. So I'm pretty happy and I'm proud that actually this team made it.
And what was the strongest part of your game tonight?
The strongest part was that we didn't give up. That after the first set that we lost, we came back. We managed to win like 3 sets, and I think that was the main reason.
Is there anything you're focusing on as a team or looking to improve on?
Well, we just started to play as a team. We all finished with the clubs pretty late, so we didn't have much time to practice. So of course there is a lot of small things that we have to improve, and we still have a lot of time to work on it.
And are you enjoying the VNL format and the tournament?
VNL tournament so far was really great so far, and honestly this is my first week, but the rest of the girls, they told me that also in our first week in Brazil was amazing. So yeah, I'm really happy and excited.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Milena. Appreciate it. 最緊要就係我問啫。